So lying down in a comfortable position for a little while and allowing the body to find a place in which it can be still. As I said, it won't be too long, but make sure you're not cooling down too much. Just embracing what it is at the moment. Eyes might be closed, or if that is not yours, just steadying the gaze towards the ceiling might be nice. When I say we're playing with fire and with the sun, we're playing with the energies that this new season has to offer, and I expect a warmer day today, but for now we're starting to create that little bit of heat within us. So if you are tapping within yourself right now as you're lying there relaxed and maybe feeling a bit cool, can you sense warmth somewhere within your body? Just inquire. There's no necessity to feel the warmth anywhere, really. But if you find some, maybe allowing this area to shine, if you like, in a bright yellow light. And if you struggle to find any warm area, you might choose to focus on the solar plexus area above your navel, or maybe on the heart area, depending on what feels best for you. And allowing, as you deepen the breath, to feel that the warmth just spreads out into the body, that you purposefully can release warmth and spread it out. And if you prefer to use a color, let's spread the yellow out into the body. As you do so, it's likely that you come across some sensations or thoughts or emotions or whatever arises for you. And I invite you to notice them on the way. Taking all of this in as usual as your information for the practice. While you keep breathing in and out of your nose, you might choose today to establish an ujjayi breath. If you have never worked with this breathing technique before, you could think of it as if you were fogging up your glasses because you need to wipe them down. That's when you do this out of the mouth, it's that sound. And if you feel into that, there is a sensation somewhere in your throat that this fogging up creates. This is what we would describe as a narrowing, slightly constricting the air passage. If you want to, but you've never practiced this ujjayi technique, try and constrict your throat in this gentle way, as if you're fogging up your glasses, while breathing in and out of the nose. It will create a slight hissing or oceanic sound. Don't strain too much or narrow it down too much. Just keep a flow of air moving through. Allowing the ujjayi breath to be at the inhalation as well as at the exhalation. And as we breathe, now finding an even longer breath. So if you can, and currently you're breathing in and breathing out in the same rhythm, just adding one count to in and out breath if possible, while the body is still. And then as we will play with our core, I invite you now also to activate, drawing the skin underneath your navel in the direction of the tailbone when you're breathing out. But when you're breathing in, you're just expanding, using your Jai technique if that sits right with you. And on the out breath, drawing the skin under the navel in direction of your tailbone. If you do this very strong, but do release it as well on the in-breath, if you do this very strong, you will notice there's a rocking of the pelvis happening, that subtle tilt as you're drawing the lower abdomen downwards and in. This is a nice way of really supporting yourself quite strongly. And if this comes fairly natural to you, it might be useful to keep that activation of your lower abdomen or mula bandha going while we do some of the core strengthening movements. So to support the pelvic area as well as your lower back. Now, while you might choose to keep the breath going as it is right now, we'll make some room above us. If there's a blanket, take that out of the way. If you've got something underneath the knees, also pushing that out of the way and stepping your feet down onto your mat. From there, bring your knees up gently over the chest and give them a loving squeeze in towards your body. Keeping the shoulders relaxed and a subtle rocking from side to side to begin with. Keep it small, just a bit of a rocking here. Then pause your rocking and on the next out breath, draw your nose up towards the knees. Now let's breathe in and stretch the arms over the head and the feet to the ceiling. And on the out breath, hugging the knee and the nose together again. So lying down as you're breathing in, arms overhead, feet to the ceiling. And out breath, nose towards the knee. Repeat that for 2 more. Breath in to extend and breath out to hug in. As you release your feet and your head back onto your mat, take the arms out to the sides and place the palms of the hands down. So a bit away from the body as we want to stabilize. Find a place where the shoulders can easily be grounded as well. We're lifting the right leg up. Now your left leg can stay bent, foot on the floor, or you can extend the leg out long. I'd ask you to start a few circles with your right leg. And as you circle it, move it away from you. Now you will notice here that it could be good to engage Mula Bandha, lower abdominals drawing in, as the leg might be fairly far away from you. And so we're stabilizing there a bit. Circles are your chosen size, and we'll reverse them now. Keep grounding down through the arms as well. If the leg away from you is just that little bit too much, bring it in a bit more. So you've got all of these variations to work with. Then pause while the toes are pointing up to the ceiling, and let's open the leg out to the side if you've got the room there. On a breath in, and then hugging the knee into the chest on a breath out, and if you like, your nose comes up again towards the knee. Releasing back onto the mat, step the right foot down and lift your left leg into the air. Same option, you can leave the right foot down or extend the leg out long. Arms again away from the body, palms down, shoulders down. And we're starting our circles, and my recommendation, again, that light activation of the lower abdomen so that there is some stability in the pelvic area, and with that a protection of your lower back in this movement. Leg can be as far away from you as it suits, or a little bit further up if it needs to be. And the size of the circles is up to you as well. Changing direction. Few more. And then as we complete the movement, the leg is up in the air. And as you breathe in, you might open your leg out to the left. On your out breath now, hug the knee in, and maybe the nose rises up towards the knee. Lowering head and foot back down to the ground. Step the other foot up as well. Bring the feet as close towards your bottom as you can, and let the knees fall out towards the side. Going into the squid movement, and most of you are familiar with this movement. So hands go behind the head, elbows are open, yet a little bit away from the ground. So we're actually accessing our core muscles a bit better than when we're opening too wide. Lifting the head and the shoulders off the ground, change nothing in the neck position, so the gaze remains to the ceiling. And on each out breath now, right elbow towards the right knee, or left elbow towards the left knee. In breath, we're in the center, and out breath to squeeze into the side. Keep moving side to side like this. So your gaze remains up to the ceiling, ideally head and shoulders off the floor, and you're squeezing into one side and then into the other. So each time you're breathing out, there's a squeeze into the side body. If the head gets too heavy, I recommend to do this movement on the carpet so that you're sliding rather than your sticky mats. If you can, go for another 2 to each side until you're balanced. And once you have completed, releasing back down onto the mat, allowing the knees to stay open for one full breath in and out. And then guiding your knees back up. But ask you to slide the arms a little bit further away from you, lifting the feet up so the knees are coming quite close to the chest. I like the palms of the hands down for these twists. And I encourage you now to really squeeze the knees together so they're staying in this parallel position. Doesn't matter how far you can get with the movement. While you're breathing out, we're tucking the knee up towards one shoulder. When breathing in, bring it across, and exhale, tuck it up. So it's not just a swaying or relaxed movement from side to side, although you could truly make it this. We're squeezing up, centering, and squeezing up. So there's that little tuck happening at each out breath. Now that we're a bit more familiar with this movement, we will pause it, keeping the arms like this and extending both legs up to the ceiling. Keep your legs close and begin to circle both legs. Now you would want again to slightly activate Mula Bandha as a support. And if your lower back is happy today, you can move the legs as far away from you as you like. So you can make this quite strong if the legs are going fairly close towards the floor or a tad bit further away from your body. Keep grounding down through the upper body and lower body active. Pause and change directions. I'm not too sure which one I just went in. Maybe you're the same. Make it up. Keep going for a few more. And then pause by bringing the knees in. Place one hand onto each kneecap. Have a breath out to squeeze them in. A breath in to lift the upper body, maybe to extend the legs, maybe. And breath out to bring the knees back in. Breath in is a lift into a sinking boat. Breath out to hug the knees into the chest. Breath in to lift, and you lift however high you can come. You could as well just lift the upper body here. I'm encouraging you to deeply listen into the sensations that you are feeling. How far can you go? Not as a competition, but as your body observation. Go for one more only. And maybe let that one take you into a boat. And we're releasing the boat, taking the legs out long in front. Now I guess there's a little bit more shuffling around, getting rid of all the equipment that you have around you. Let's bring the knees into a bend and draw them up. Taking a hold of the feet as you bring your knees in. Trying even to firmly hold onto the feet as you're lengthening through the spine. A breath in here. And a breath out as you're squeezing your knees all the way away from you while maintaining a long, tall, seated position. Inhale, relax that a little bit. Exhale, squeeze the knees away. Inhale, soften a bit. One more. And we will slowly release the feet, extending the legs a little bit away from us and slide the hands through for tortoise pose. As you bring the hands underneath, you might take a hold. I call this a double prayer position. The feet are already in it and we're joining the hands on top. And you might lower the head down from there to build your shell. Now, can you, as you breathe in, be soft? And while you're breathing out, encouraging yourself to deepen this pose while keeping your knees open. Creating a little bit more space, remaining here with this idea for another 2 breaths. Then coming back up into a seated position. Now on Monday, we were practicing a lot of boats, and I would love to at least bring one of them into the practice today as well. So it really helps up to create some fire. Bringing the fingertips down behind you and try and keep it just the fingertips so you're not tempted to lean the weight into them. It's better to stay here between the sit bones. Let's cross the ankles and lift the feet. Too much, just go from side to side. You will still get some core strength. Feet off the floor if you like. We're twisting and on the out-breath, squeezing the knees in. Inhale, move away. Exhale and squeeze in. So I like to extend my legs a bit away from me to add some extra strength. But that again is up to you. If you want to keep it soft or go all the way strong. Some of us might feel these muscle groups still when they're firing up now. Pausing once you're next in balance. Changing the cross of the ankles. And then going again. Now you could lift the hands off the ground if you find, oh, the supported version is not yet strong enough for me. Put a smile on, especially as it gets stronger or a bit more difficult to continue. Think about the sunshine and then release. Let's have the legs out long in front. Take a breath in to reach up tall. Knees can be bent, and as you're breathing out, let your hands slide in the direction of your feet. Lowering the head as you breathe in, lift it again and lengthen. And when breathing out, fold it. Stay with the wave-like movement in the back as you're breathing in to lengthen and breathing out to fold. So we're not holding still quite yet. We're still waving through the spine. Knees can be bent as much as you like. One more wave, then pause. Allow your shoulders to remain softly in the sockets. It's not important where you're holding on to. Hands can rest anywhere against the legs. Allow yourself, with the eyes closed, 2 of our Ujjayi breaths if they sit with you, and also the activation of Mula Bandha. Once you have completed those, we will rise back up to sit and find our way into a standing position. So I recommend to begin standing at the front of the mat. And it's the first time we can actually really feel some weight on our feet. So grounding yourself down into the feet. Activating a little bit into the glutes, into the legs. And then maybe exploring the softness in the arms and the shoulders with a little shrug and movement. Let's breathe in and lift the arms together with the gaze. Bend your knees, breathe out to fold. Inhaling, coming to a half lift. Exhaling, stepping your right foot back into a lunge. You can either lower the whole foot down or keep the heel off the floor. On a breath in, let's fly the arms out. Encouraging back into the heel as you're exhaling. If you want that little bit extra, on the next in-breath, reach the arms forward into an arrowhead. And as you're breathing out, push them back and out to your sides. Inhale to reach forward into arrowhead. Exhale as you're pushing back. Inhale, reach forward. And exhale, push back, and I do that also with the heel and with the foot behind me. Last one, breathe in to reach forward, and breath out to push back. Landing your hands down onto the mat, your choice now, down dog or all-four stance. Breathing in as we flow forward into vinyasa, knees on or off the mat, breathe out to lower. Inhaling, cobra or up dog, and exhaling, making your way back to down dog or your all-four stance for the next movement. Now, we will have different variations here as well. Lifting the right leg, that's your in-breath. On the out-breath, bring the knee to the nose. Inhale, extend out through the heel, hips facing down. Exhale, knee to the nose. Just one more. Holding underneath. You may lower the knee down here for a side plank supported, or you might extend the leg underneath and across. Or moving, in that case, more towards a fallen star as you come to the inner edge of the left foot. Right foot can rest on the floor or float like mine. These are the different variations. Happiest smile on for your own. Then release. Foot down, hand down, stretch back up into the dog. Lifting the right leg once again, breathing in. On the out breath, bringing the foot forward between the hands. Now I will ask you to just come to your fingertips and lengthen. And on the exhalation, to forward fold. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, fold again. Bend your knees, swing the arms forward. Chair pose, breathe in. Exhale, sit into your chair. Check in, where's your energy? Do you want to extend the arms all the way, maybe even touch the palms together? Or do you feel better when the palms are facing up, your upper back, your shoulders are more relaxed? Hold your chair. See if you can sit a little bit lower into the chair. Keep your sit bones open though, and use again your lower abdomen as a point of stabilization. Then push into the feet. Inhale, reach the arms up, extend the front body if that feels right, and bring the hands through and release them. Notice, how's the breath now? Can you feel a bit of warmth arising in the body? Let's hope so. We'll do that on the other side as well. Breathing in, lifting the arms. Breathing out to fold. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, step your left foot back into a lunge. So the same here, you could lower the heel to the floor or keep it a lunge. Let's fly the arms out to the sides and establish the position. Movement the same here. While you're breathing, you can extend the arms forward. And while you're breathing out, you can push them back. And when I mean pushing, work through the arms, reach them forward, and then push them back. So there's strong arm movement here as well. We're breathing as if we wanted to lunge forward, and then we're breathing out and everything moves backwards. 2 more. Then we're releasing the hands down to the mat, returning to down dog. Let's add a vinyasa here, so your choice how you're flowing. Moving forward to plank or kneeling plank. Exhaling to lower, cobra or an up dog while breathing in. And then you could stay in an all-four stance or come back into down dog. Taking a deep, full ujjayi or yogi breath in and out. Then lifting your left leg. The heel is pushing up, toes are down. As you breathe out, bring the knee to the chest. Inhale, extend the leg. Exhale, knee to the chest. 1 more. And here come your options. As you hold the knee underneath, most gentle variation, place the knee down, extend into side plank. Stronger variation, bring the leg underneath, but maybe rest the edge of the foot onto the floor. And then we're rolling to the inner edge of the right and lifting the right arm, fallen star, or the foot on the ground, or the knee on the ground. Smile and breathe. Hand comes down, foot comes down, downward dog. Lift the left leg again, breath in. Breath out, bring the foot forward. Rising onto the fingertips, releasing weight from arms, length in the back. And exhale, come to forward fold. Breathing in for half lift. Breathing out to fold again. Bend your knees, chair pose. Inhale, lift. Find your arm position and settle into the chair. So I do not encourage you to draw the tailbone down in this pose. I encourage you to keep the sit bones open. Use the lower abdomen, draw that into the direction of the tailbone, which will cause a light tilt in the pelvis, but maybe not so much an overextension here, then more of a firming up to support us. Are you still smiling in your chair? Let's push into the feet. Take your breath in, extend the front of the body, and then bring the hands down and all the way by the sides. How are you feeling now? Is there some tingling? Can you feel some energy moving through the body? We will go again. We will change things up slightly. On a breath in, lifting the arms. On a breath out, fold. Inhale, come to half lift. Exhale, step the right foot back into a lunge. Now this time I actually encourage you to lower the heel to the floor and to allow the right foot to be in an angle. We will still fly the arms out to the sides. But this time we're interlacing the hands behind the back. Now on your next exhalation, curl up into standing. And as you're breathing in, let the arms lift away from the back if that works and open through the front of the body. When you're breathing out, move down in the direction of a humble warrior. Release the arms onto the back as you inhale and breathe out again to curl up into standing. So there's a few breaths here. Inhaling, we're opening the front body. Exhaling to lean towards the inside of the front knee. Inhale to release the arms onto the back. And a breath out to curl back up into standing. Let's repeat that. Breathe in to open. Breathe out for humble warrior. Inhale, release your arms onto your back. Exhale, curl up into standing. One more round. Breathe in and open. Breathe out to a humble warrior. Inhale to release the arms. Exhale to curl up into standing. While you're lifting the back heel, breathe in and reach the arms up for your lunge. And a breath out just to soften into the back knee and sink into the lunge. Gaze could be up or forward. Breathing in here again. And then the hands come down on the out breath, returning to all fours or down dog. Now, I just heard this horrible sound of my foot sliding along the mat. If you can avoid that and use your inner core to lift the foot, to step it back more gracefully, please feel invited to try. On a breath in, come forward into plank or kneeling plank. And on the out breath now, lower down onto the front of your body. Let's extend the arms out to the front and the legs to the back. The forehead might rest down or you're resting your chin down. And then let's breathe in, push the hands into the ground, lift the head and the chest lightly. Now, next we're lifting left leg and right arm, breathing in. Exhale, release. Leave the head lightly floating. And exhale, release. So there's a subtle activation that stays. We're changing sides each time. Breathing in is a lift. Breath out is to lower. I do not touch my head to the ground. I just lower the chest a bit. Up to you to take that down all the way. Keep alternating. Right, left, opposite sides. Few more breaths. And then when you are in balance, let's aim to fly like Superwoman, lifting both arms, both legs off the floor, and maybe the arms are coming out a bit wider, so are the legs. But feel into your back is then actually right for yourself. Are you still holding? Are you smiling down onto the ground? Now let's release that down onto the mat. Bring the hands down by the sides and take your body back into a softly extended child's pose. Allow yourself to pause for a while, to reconnect to the flow of your breathing and maybe using that Ujjayi breath. If that's not yours, that's fine. Leave it out. No particular technique, posture is right for every single person. So trust your own, not thoughts, but feelings and explorations, what you find out about yourself, and adjust the practice accordingly. Let's extend the arms again, lifting up onto all fours, tucking the toes under and lift the knees right up into a downward facing dog. Now, if you would like to walk forward, please feel free. If you would like to try and jump, let's squeeze the knees open and back, and at the end of an out breath, bring the feet forward. Half lift as you're breathing in. And on the exhalation, fold. Revisiting our chairs, you bend the knees, swing the arms forward, breath in, and then sit back into the chair on the breath out. I know we all love our chair poses. Let's hold and maybe sit deeper. Don't forget to support with your lower abs. And then push into the floor, breathe in, extend. And the breath out to release. Take a deep breath in and out in your mountain pose. Feeling the support again of the feet, the legs, the glutes. On the next breath in, lift the arms. Breath out to fold. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, step your left foot back. Now, once again, I suggest to bring the heel to the floor and to allow the foot to be in an angle. We're lifting the torso and extending the arms out to the sides. When you come to interlace the hands behind your back, change to the unusual one. And on an out breath, begin to roll up to stand. Breathe in, lift the arms away while opening your chest. Breath out, come down towards the inside of the knee, arms might be away from the back. Inhale, release the arms onto your back. Breath out and curl up into standing. Breathe in for openness in your front. Exhaling into a humble warrior. Inhale, lower the arms onto your back. Exhale, curl up into standing. 2 more. Breathe in, open. Exhale to move forward and down. Inhale, release your arms. Out, breath rolling up. Last round, breathe in. Exhale to lower. Inhale, relax your arms onto your back. Out, breath, roll it up. Now, as you're lifting through the heel, lifting through the arms for a high lunge. And then bend the back knee a little bit as you're breathing out into this lunge. Gaze can be forward or lifted. Inhale again. As you're exhaling, bring the hands down onto the mat. Step back for down dog. Roll forward into your plank. And there's nothing better than a good plank. You can have your knees on the ground as you're holding here, but be strong, not just in the hands, but feel the whole hand grounded. And then create space as if you were lifting the shoulders upwards and creating more space between your shoulder blades. Keep the pelvis, where the knees are on or off the mat, doesn't matter, in a straight line with the rest of your body. Right down towards the knees, or if they're off the floor, all the way to the heels. Smile again to the ground. And when you're next exhaling, come down onto the front of the body. Now I will invite you to take the hands in an interlace behind, or to bend both knees and find a full bow pose. Or if your shoulders are great with that, even your arms by the sides of the body. So your choice. If you've got the feet in the hand, I guess you know what to do. Otherwise, we will all take a breath in to lift into our pose, holding yours for a few breaths. We want to create even more heat inside of the body. So if you've got your feet in the hands, please make sure that the knees aren't any further apart than hip distance. If you can, hold for 3 more breaths, and please do feel free to rest down at any time if you need to. It's totally okay to do so. Once you have completed, bring the hands back down by the sides and return into a soft child's pose. We're slowing down the pace now a lot, allowing your body to breathe. Maybe returning to a full yogic or ujjayi breath. And from there, let's start to press down into the floor to lift the upper body. And then swinging the legs around towards the front. Get into a bit of a stretch. So we're bringing the right knee up towards the body. And then letting the knee come out towards the side. Sole of the foot will rest against the inner thigh or somewhere against the leg is perfectly fine. Now let's walk out a little bit through the sit bones and face closer towards the extended leg. Let's take the left hand fingertips and slide them behind us. And bring the right hand to the outside and maybe even tucking it slightly underneath the extended leg. Make sure that the left toes are pointing to the ceiling. Keep your spine as upright as it is right now and go into a slight twist, turning towards the left. I guess oftentimes we're turning towards the knee, maybe not today. Staying here, and if it feels good, keep the body this way and turn your head to the other side. And if that feels good, you could tilt your right ear slightly towards the shoulder or lifting through the left one. Then center yourself and take a good breath in to reach the arms up. You can bend the left knee while you're breathing out to fold. Taking a hold of wherever feels good for you. Somewhere on the leg is perfectly okay. Lengthen the top of the head forward on the next in-breath, and then work closer towards head to knee pose as you lower. Stay here. Breathe. Maybe allowing that ujjayi breath to accompany the stretch. Getting deeper in with each exhalation. On the next breath in, lifting the spine halfway up and then coming to sit as you're breathing out. Let's bring the right leg out long, give it some movement, and hug the left knee up. Let the knee come open to the side, and same as on the other side, if the foot doesn't quite end up on your inner thigh, that's fine. Have the foot somewhere against the leg. Walk out through the sit bones so you're already facing the extended leg, and allow the toes of this leg to face upwards. Right hand fingertips are landing behind now, and we're placing the left hand fingertips, if you can reach there, underneath the right leg. Otherwise, just take them to the outside of the leg. Maintain your tall seat, and then go into the twist when breathing out. Keeping the spine as long as is possible for you. You can hold here, or you can start carefully on the next breath to turn the head to the other side. Move it slowly. And if that feels good, you can tuck your left ear towards the left shoulder or lift the right ear. Let's center and a breath in to lift the arms. You can bend your knee if you like as you're breathing out to fold. Taking a hold of the leg somewhere, releasing the body. Breathe in to reach the crown of the head forward. And then just work with your ujjayi or yogi breath on deepening this forward bend. Keeping your toes facing upwards so the leg is aligned. And using the exhalations to go a bit deeper. On the next breath in, come halfway up. And on the out breath, rising into sitting. Now extend the leg out, give it a little bit of a shake. And I recommend to grab your socks and put your socks on. If you don't wear any, that's fine. Gather around you whatever you will need for Shavasana. And we've been doing this for a while now. We will do Shavasana in a moment and then finish with pranayama breathing. So to lower down towards the floor, let's step the feet gently onto the ground. Have them a little bit further away from you. Sitting up tall and extend your arms forward. Breathing in. Breathing out to lean a little bit back. Spine is still long. Inhale here. Exhale, lean to the space between the sit bones. Breathing in. If you need to hold on, here are your legs to do so. Begin to round on the next out breath, another little stage down. Inhale. Exhale, another bit down. Keep the shoulders, arms relaxed. Exhale, come a little bit further down. If you're trembling, start smiling more. Breath out, lower again. Inhale. Exhale, last stage here. Breathe in. And as you're breathing out, release your body down onto the mat. To reach the arms up over your head, have a full body stretch. Big breath in and out. And then let's soften the body into Shavasana pose. So yes, you can prop up underneath your knees, pop a bolster there or cushion. A light or thin cushion rather underneath the head might be lovely. A blanket over the top might be nice. And let your arms just fall away from you, the palms of the hands facing upwards. Let the legs drift apart from each other. And then as you come into Shavasana, take one deep, full yogi or ujjayi breath in and a longer version out. Then come to natural breathing and let go or be. Allowing yourself to come to rest. Well, there's absolutely nothing more to do. Check in with your body. Where can you feel warmth? There might be one or the other point now that feels quite warm. Connect with this area. If it's multiple, feel as if you're already shining. And then let's spread this inner fire out. As you're breathing out gently in your Shavasana, let the warmth and the idea of the fire spread out into the body. Seeing that as energy. Energy for expressing yourself. For destruction and for creation. You might like this affirmation. I embrace the fire of life within me. Clear and centered in my purpose. Ignited by creative potential, I am a force of good in the world. Allowing your breath now to deepen again. As you're breathing more deeply now in and out of your nose, allow just enough movement to bring you into a upright seated position. I'm highlighting the word upright for pranayama. We will need the spine to be long. So feel free to lean against the wall or against the couch, whatever you've got there, anything that might support you. I've popped a block underneath. You might bring a block there too, or a cushion. So whatever helps you for this upright seated position will be fine. Taking enough time to feel at ease sitting. And we've played around with Chandra and Surya Vedana Pranayama. I will encourage you only to use Surya, but to create some more energy in the body and to invite this idea of fire and light on these first few days of spring. What I will also ask you to play with, if you're comfortable with it, is, and I will cue that once we're ready, to potentially include Ujjayi breath in this technique, which is fine to do, but doesn't have to be. So we're using our thumb and ring finger for the nostrils, and index middle finger can rest or hover above the eyebrow center. You can also use the palm of the other hand underneath your elbow to support, which might help you to keep your shoulders soft and relaxed. Watch, especially if you're doing that, we're getting into a light rounding, that you're not hunching forward. So keeping the spine nice and tall. We begin by closing off our left nostril, breathing in fully through the right. Close the right, exhale left. Close left, inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale right. Exhale left. Now keep going in through the right side, out of the left. And at first establish just a breathing pattern that sits comfortably with you, yet the breath is full. Once you might have managed that, it is entirely up to you to add Ujjayi technique, and maybe that lengthens the breath even further and slows the technique down a fair bit. You keep breathing in through the right and out of the left side, no matter what. And we will stay with that for a few more breaths, which I will count for you. Two more breaths, and then resting, preferably eyes closed or steady gaze. Let us place one hand onto the solar plexus and one hand onto the heart. The most shiny spaces you can find, from where you can even shine outside. Connecting with the energy of the sun and the fire, the warmth. and sharing that with each other with the light bell. Namaste.